The desperate mother. The medical bay was cold. Very cold. High Commander Lyris stood alone in the middle of the room. Her hands were shaking. Her heart was beating too fast. She tried to breathe slowly, but it was hard. In front of her, there were 12 glass pods. Each pod was glowing with soft blue light. The light was beautiful, but what was inside the pods, that was heartbreaking. Babies. 12 tiny babies of her species. The youngest was only 3 weeks old. The oldest was 2 months. They were so small, so innocent, so helpless. And they were dying. Lyris walked closer to the first pod. Inside, a baby girl was sleeping. Her skin was pale, too pale. Her breathing was slow and weak. Small tubes were connected to her tiny body. Lyris put her hand on the glass. It was cold against her palm. "I am sorry, little one," she whispered. "I am so sorry." The door behind her opened. Dr. Venn walked in slowly. His face looked tired. His eyes were red. He had not slept for 5 days. "Commander," he said softly, "we need to talk." Lyris did not turn around. She kept looking at the baby. "Tell me there is hope, Doctor. Tell me you found something." Silence. That silence was worse than any words. Dr. Venn walked closer. He stood next to Lyris and looked at the pods. "We tried everything, Commander. Every medicine, every treatment, every method we know." He paused. His voice broke a little. "Nothing works. The disease is too strong." Lyris closed her eyes. She felt like someone was squeezing her heart. How long? 3 days, maybe 4. After that... He did not finish the sentence. He did not need to. Lyris opened her eyes. She looked at all 12 pods, 12 innocent lives, 12 families waiting for good news, 12 mothers and fathers praying for a miracle, and she had nothing to give them. "There must be something," Lyris said. Her voice was shaking now. "There must be some way, some species, some planet, someone who can help." Dr. Venn was quiet for a long moment. Then he spoke. "There is one option." Lyris turned to look at him. "What option? Tell me." The doctor looked afraid. Actually afraid. Lyris had never seen him like this before. "The humans," he said quietly. The word hit Lyris like a punch to the stomach. Humans. She felt her blood turn cold. Her body went stiff. For a moment she forgot how to breathe. "Humans?" she repeated. "You want me to send our children to humans?" Dr. Venn nodded slowly. "Their medical science is advanced. Their immune systems are incredibly strong. The disease killing our babies, it is nothing to them. They deal with worse things every day." "But they are monsters!" Lyris shouted. Her voice echoed in the cold room. "The Galactic Council has warned every species. Humans are dangerous. Humans are predators. Humans are..." "Our only hope," Dr. Venn interrupted. Lyris stared at him. "Commander, I know the stories. I know what everyone says about humans. But right now, those 12 babies have 2 choices. Die here with us, or maybe, just maybe, live with the humans." Lyris looked back at the pods. The baby girl moved a little in her sleep. Her tiny hand opened and closed slowly. Such a small hand. Such a small life. Lyris thought about her own daughter. She had been just like these babies. Small, innocent, beautiful. The same disease had taken her 3 years ago. Lyris had held her daughter as she took her last breath. She had promised herself she would never feel that pain again. But now, here she was, watching 12 more children die. Could she really send them to humans? Could she trust the most dangerous species in the galaxy with her people's last hope? She did not know. But she knew one thing for certain. She could not watch these babies die, not without trying everything, even if everything meant trusting monsters. The return. The waiting 3 weeks, 21 days, 504 hours. Commander Lyris had counted every single moment. She sat alone in her dark office. The lights were off. The screens were silent. She had not eaten properly for days. She had not slept for even longer. Her eyes were fixed on the communication device in front of her. It was small, silver, silent, too silent. "Please," she whispered to nobody, "please send me something, anything." But the device stayed dark. No messages, no signals, no news, nothing. Lyris closed her eyes. Her mind kept showing her terrible images. The babies crying. The babies scared. The babies in the hands of humans. What were the humans doing to them right now? Were they running tests on them? Were they hurting them? Were they keeping them in cages like animals? Or worse, were the babies already dead? Lyris felt sick. She wanted to scream. She wanted to fly to Earth herself and take the children back. But she could not. The Galactic Council had forbidden any contact with humans. If she went to Earth, she would start a war. So she waited, and waited, and waited. The signal. On the 22nd day, something happened. Lyris was sitting in the same chair, same position, same darkness. Suddenly, the communication device made a sound. Beep. Lyris jumped. Her heart stopped for a moment. Beep, beep. She grabbed the device with shaking hands. A message was coming through, from Earth, from the human planet. Her finger hovered over the button. She was terrified to press it. What if it was bad news? What if the humans had sent a message saying the babies were dead? What if... She pressed the button. The screen lit up. A video started playing, and what Lyris saw changed everything. The video. The video showed a bright room, white walls, soft lights, clean floors. In the middle of the room, there were 12 small beds, not cages, not glass pods, beds, soft, comfortable beds with colorful blankets. And in those beds, the babies, all 12 of them. Lyris leaned closer to the screen. Her eyes went wide. Her mouth fell open. The babies were not crying. They were not sick. They were not dying. They were laughing. Actual laughter. That beautiful sound that Lyris had not heard in so long. The babies were moving their tiny arms, kicking their tiny legs. Their skin was bright and healthy. Their eyes were open and shining. They looked happy. But that was not the most shocking part. The most shocking part was the humans. There were humans everywhere in the room. Men, women, young, old. They were holding the babies, feeding them, playing with them, singing to them. One human woman was rocking a baby gently in her arms. She was humming a soft song. The baby was looking up at her with complete trust. Another human, an old man with white hair, was making funny faces at two babies. The babies were laughing so hard, their whole bodies were shaking. A young human girl, maybe 15 years old, was carefully feeding a baby with a small bottle. She was smiling so warmly. Lyris could not believe what she was seeing. These were humans, the monsters, the predators, the most dangerous species in the galaxy, and they were caring for her people's children. The video continued. A human woman appeared on the screen. She had kind eyes and a gentle smile. She spoke directly to the camera. "Hello, my name is Sarah. I am a nurse at this hospital. I found your babies 3 weeks ago." Lyris held her breath. "I want you to know they are safe. All 12 of them. We treated their disease. It was not easy at first. We did not understand their biology, but we learned, we worked hard, and now..." Sarah smiled bigger. "Now they are healthy, strong, happy." She paused. Her eyes became a little wet. "I do not know who you are. I do not know where you came from. But I want you to know something." She looked directly into the camera, directly at Lyris. "Your children are loved here. They are protected here. And whenever you are ready to come for them, we will be waiting." The video ended. Lyris sat in complete silence. Then she started crying. The journey. Lyris made her decision in that moment. She did not care about the Galactic Council. She did not care about the rules. She did not care about the danger. She was going to Earth. She took her fastest ship. She flew alone. The journey took 2 days. 2 days of thinking, 2 days of preparing herself, 2 days of wondering what she would find. Would the humans welcome her, or would they attack her? She did not know, but she had to try. When her ship entered Earth's atmosphere, alarms started ringing. Human military signals were everywhere. They had detected her. Lyris gripped the controls tightly. This was it, the moment of truth. She landed her ship in an open field near the hospital. She could see human vehicles coming toward her. Fast. She opened the ship's door and stepped outside. The sun was bright. The air smelled strange, sweet and fresh. Within minutes, she was surrounded. Human soldiers, dozens of them. They had weapons pointed at her. Lyris raised her hands slowly. "I come in peace," she said. "I am here for the children." The soldiers did not move. Their faces were hard and suspicious. Then a voice came from behind them. "Wait, stop, do not shoot." The soldiers turned around. A woman was running toward them. She was wearing white clothes, hospital clothes. It was Sarah, the nurse from the video. Sarah pushed through the soldiers. She was breathing hard. Her face was red from running. She stopped in front of Lyris. For a long moment they just looked at each other. Human and alien, face to face, for the first time. Then Sarah smiled. "You came," she said softly. "You actually came." Lyris felt tears forming in her eyes. "You saved them. You saved our children." Sarah shook her head. "They saved us too. You have no idea how much joy they brought to this hospital, to this whole planet." She reached out her hand. Lyris looked at it, a human hand, the hand of a species she had feared her whole life. She took it. The reunion. Sarah led Lyris into the hospital. The soldiers followed, but they had lowered their weapons. They walked through long hallways. Humans everywhere stopped and stared. Some looked scared, some looked curious, some looked excited. Finally, they reached a large room, the room from the video. Lyris stepped inside and froze. The 12 babies were there, all of them, healthy, beautiful, alive. And around them were humans, so many humans, nurses, doctors, volunteers, families, children. They had all come to see this moment, the moment the alien mother would reunite with her people's children. One of the babies saw Lyris. It made a sound, a happy sound. Then another baby noticed her, and another, and another. Soon, all 12 babies were reaching their tiny arms toward her. They recognized her. They knew she was one of their kind. Lyris walked forward slowly. Her legs were shaking. Her vision was blurry with tears. Sarah picked up one of the babies and placed it gently in Lyris's arms. The baby was warm, so warm. Its little heart was beating strong and fast. It looked up at Lyris with big, curious eyes, and then it laughed. That beautiful, bell-like laugh. Lyris broke down completely. She held the baby close to her chest and cried. All the fear, all the worry, all the pain of the past 3 weeks. It all came out. The humans in the room were quiet. Some of them were crying too. The truth. Later that day, Lyris sat with Sarah in a small room. The babies were sleeping peacefully nearby. "I do not understand," Lyris said quietly. "Your species. Everyone says you are dangerous, violent, cruel." Sarah nodded slowly. "We can be. I will not lie to you. Humans have done terrible things, to each other, to our own planet. We are not perfect." She paused. "But we are also capable of great love, great kindness, great sacrifice." She looked at the sleeping babies. "When I found those children outside the hospital, I did not see aliens. I did not see strangers. I just saw babies, sick, scared, helpless babies." Her voice became thick with emotion, and something inside me, something deep inside every human, it just knew what to do. Protect them, help them, love them. Lyris was quiet for a long moment. "The Galactic Council calls you monsters," she finally said. Sarah smiled sadly. "Maybe we are, but even monsters can love." The gifts. The next morning, Lyris prepared to leave. She stood outside the hospital with her ship ready. The 12 babies were secured safely inside, but the humans were not ready to say goodbye. A crowd had gathered. Hundreds of people, maybe thousands. They had brought gifts, handmade blankets for every baby, soft toys, picture books, bottles of special formula that the doctors had created. One old woman walked forward. She was crying. She pressed a small stuffed animal into Lyris's hands. "I made this for the little one with the purple eyes," she said. "She loved it. Please, let her keep it." Lyris held the toy. It was soft, shaped like a strange earth creature. "I will," she promised. "Thank you." One by one, humans came forward with their gifts, their tears, their well-wishes. A young man gave Lyris a small device. "It has music," he said. "The babies loved these songs. It helped them sleep." A little girl handed her a drawing. It showed 12 babies surrounded by hearts. A doctor gave her detailed medical files. "Everything we learned about their biology, in case they ever get sick again. We want to help, always." Lyris was overwhelmed. These were supposed to be monsters, predators, killers, but all she saw were people. Kind, loving, beautiful people. The goodbye. Sarah approached Lyris last. She was holding something small in her hands. "I want you to have this," Sarah said. She opened her hands. Inside was a small bracelet. It had tiny letters on it, HOPE. "I put this on the smallest baby when she first arrived," Sarah explained. "She was the weakest. We almost lost her twice, but she fought. She survived." Sarah's eyes were wet. "I called her Hope, because that is what she gave us. Hope that the universe is not as scary as we think. Hope that different species can help each other." She placed the bracelet in Lyris's hand. "Take care of them, Commander. Take care of our Hope." Lyris could not speak. Her throat was too tight. She simply nodded. Then, surprising everyone, including herself, she stepped forward and hugged Sarah, a human and an alien, holding each other, crying together. The crowd watched in silence. This was history. This was first contact done right, not with weapons, not with fear, but with love. And so the galaxy learned an important lesson. Humans were not simple creatures. They could be violent, but they could also be gentle. They could be cruel, but they could also be kind. They could destroy worlds, but they could also save lives. The truth about humans was complicated, but one thing was certain. If you were innocent, if you were helpless, if you needed someone to fight for you, there was no better species in the galaxy than humans, because humans did not just protect their own children, they protected everyone's children, even the children of strangers from distant stars. That was the human way, and that was beautiful. The message 1 year later. The Galactic Council received an emergency transmission. It was from Commander Lyris. Every species tuned in. They expected warnings about humans. They expected horror stories. Instead, they got something different. Lyris appeared on screen. Behind her, 12 healthy alien children were playing together. They were laughing and running. "Leaders of the galaxy," Lyris began. "For thousands of years, we have feared humans. We called them monsters. We called them predators. We called them dangerous." She paused. "We were right. They are dangerous." The council members nodded. They knew it. "But not in the way we thought." The council members froze. "Humans are dangerous to those who threaten the innocent. They are dangerous to those who harm the helpless. They are dangerous to cruelty and evil and injustice," Lyris smiled. "But to the weak, to the scared, to 12 dying babies left on their doorstep?" She gestured to the children behind her. "To them, humans are heroes." The transmission ended. The galaxy was silent. The ending on Earth. Sarah was working her usual shift at the hospital. Her computer made a sound. A message had arrived. She opened it. A video played. 12 alien children appeared on screen. They were older now, bigger, stronger, but she recognized every single one of them. The children waved at the camera. "Hello, Nurse Sarah," they said together. Their voices were accented but clear. They had learned English. The smallest one stepped forward, the one with purple eyes, the one Sarah had called Hope. She was wearing the bracelet. After 1 whole year, she was still wearing it. "Thank you," Hope said. "Thank you for saving us. We will never forget you." She smiled. "We love you." The video ended. Sarah sat at her desk. Tears were running down her face. She looked out the window at the sky. Somewhere out there, 12 children were alive because of her, because of her hospital, because of humanity. She whispered to the stars, "We love you too, little ones." And so, the galaxy learned an important lesson. Humans were not simple creatures. They could be violent, but they could also be gentle. They could be cruel, but they could also be kind. They could destroy worlds, but they could also save lives. The truth about humans was complicated, but one thing was certain. If you were innocent, if you were helpless, if you needed someone to fight for you, there was no better species in the galaxy than humans. Because humans did not just protect their own children, they protected everyone's children, even the children of strangers from distant stars. That was the human way, and that was beautiful.